Hey everyone, welcome back to Divine Healing Poetry. Always gotta tap in. How is everyone's week? How's your day? Thank you for returning on this beautiful Sunday evening, depending on where you are. If you're on the East Coast, so it is like 10 for you, baby. Thank you for joining. I love when I see you guys here. Welcome back. If you're new here, thank you for tuning in. Welcome. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share your journeys with me, share your experiences, your healing journey. I love to hear it. Don't forget to follow me on my other platforms, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. It's all the same, summerchambliss.ap. If you're interested in my book, Beautifully Dead, it is a wonderful book of poetry. Dive in, talking about depression, abusive relationships, my children leaving an abusive relationship, the mental abuse that they place upon you, and just coming up out of it. It's a really good book. So if you're interested in that, it is available on Amazon. If you follow me on Instagram, you can go ahead and hit the link in my bio. Take you right to it. But this week I want to talk about if you've ever been with a narcissist, why don't they leave you alone? And if you got kids with them and you got a no contact put in place, why don't they leave you alone? Why? Just why? I know firsthand. I was with my ex for like almost 18 years. Yes, we have kids. Our kids are older. They have phones. There's an app that we communicate on because I had to put my boundaries in place. I had to go, no contact. You cannot have any type of access to me but through this court-ordered app that we have to communicate on, because he is constantly crossing the line. Constantly. And now this is what a narcissistic person does. They don't give two shits about your boundaries. They don't give two shits about you. And they've shown, like he showed me many a moons, that he didn't care about me. He didn't care about Summer. And so, even now, he will not leave me alone. And he goes through the children to try to get to me. It's like, dude, you're just mentally and emotionally abusing your kids. Like, come on. And so, why won't the narcissist leave you alone? Not too many notes this time, but I do have some little notes that I had to write down so that I could remember. Because for one, they won't leave you alone because they may see it as a blow to their self-esteem. You breaking up with them is a blow to their self-esteem, their image, and they just simply don't like it because they see you as their property. You're not a human. So when you break up with them and you go no contact, or even just breaking up with them, it's a blow to their self-esteem. And they don't like that at all. And so they will ignore your no contact order. They will ignore the boundary that you've put in place. And they will do everything in their power to get their supply back, which is you. And so they stay obsessed with you, like 100%. They stay obsessed with you because, especially if you're the one that got away. Oh, don't be the one that got away. They will stay obsessed with you, and they are fixated on maintaining that self-image that you provided for them. It's not that they miss you. It's not that you had this deep emotional connection. It's not any of that. It's the supply you gave them. It's the image that you gave them. It's the it is really just there, and it's sick when you think about it, because it is really just them needing you to admire them, you to just really just make them feel good, and they just want their supply back so they can continue sucking the life out of you. So when you cut them off, it completely affects them negatively. A narcissist needs to control you. They need admiration. And they need reassurance to maintain their self-esteem and inflated ego. That is how they suck the life out of you. They are emotional. That's what I was saying before the video ended. They are emotional vampires. Cutting them off, they lose their leverage over you, which can lead them to anger. They can collapse into a depression, and they feel the loss of their supply. Now, again, I will say this. They do not miss you in any way, shape, or form. They miss their supply. It's not the person that they miss. It's not your face, your humor. You were so funny, the things that you say. It is not any of that. They miss their supply. They miss the image you gave them, and it's sick. And so when I say that they will not leave you alone, it has been about almost a year since I've been solid with no contact. Like, you're not calling me on my phone. We're not having phone conversations. You're not texting me on my phone, because that gives you too much access to me. Because when we would communicate regularly, he would always be disrespectful. He would always just be so nasty. He would always just be bringing up old shit. And it's like, you are not about to bring me to this circus of yours and be just running around in a circle on conversations and topics that don't even matter anymore, because we are not together. So I don't care what you think. I don't care about how you feel. I'm not talking about shit from years ago. I'm not doing it. You are not about to disrespect me. You are not about to control me. You're not about to do any of that. And so his main thing, he would always be like, give me another shot. Give me another chance. Please, another chance. He is, I was about to say he's the queen. He is the king. Asking for a second chance. And it's like, no. I remember one time we were on the phone, and this was probably our last conversation. I thought that I could control the narrative, but with a narcissistic person, you can't control the narrative. Like, they are going to try and attack you, jab you, cut you, kill you every chance they can. And so we were on the phone, and I forget what we were talking about. And I just remember he mentioned something, and he said something, and I was just like, what? Oh yeah, that's what it was. I was like, God, I keep forgetting. I was like, you are about to be 42. You still acting this way? And he was like, what? I'm about to be 41. You getting me mixed up with so and so that you used to date. And I was like, what? Like, I was like, why you always say some dumbass shit? Like, you always saying something dumb. And he was just like, oh, I'm sorry. Give me another chance. I was like, nigga, that was your chance. And you blew it. Like, you always say something just so dumb. And it was just like, I can't. Like, you're too old for this. And I'm getting too old for this. I'm not dealing with this anymore. Just it's immature. Like, you're like a kid throwing a tantrum. And so I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. And that was it. That was our last conversation. And I said to him, like, moving forward, hit me on the app. Because on the app, every conversation is recorded. You can't send something and then erase it. So everything you say on there is recorded. And if we ever go back to court or anything like that for child custody or anything, I can re-pull all of these messages and show how you've been, verbally abusing me and all this other kind of stuff. But see, the thing with the narcissist, if they know they are being watched by someone on the outside, they are not going to behave that way. So on that app, he watches what he says. He watches how he talks to me. And now the last time on the app where he became disrespectful, this is when I had to take control. And it was like, I'm not engaging with you anymore in this nonsense. And I mentioned this conversation. It's in my How to Co-Parent with the Narcissist video. Please go watch it. If you are leaving your narcissist, if you are going through custody with the narcissist, please go watch that video. It is very, very informative and helpful. And it can just help you to navigate the situation, because in navigating anything with a narcissist, until you really figure it out, it's dark, it's ugly, and it can be depressing and challenging. And so the last time he was disrespectful the first and only time on this app was he tried to pretend to co-parent, just talking, about our daughter, her wearing mascara. And I'm like, look, she's growing up. She's not a baby anymore. And I allow her to wear mascara. So I 100% take care of them financially and physically until you do something and be a parent. You don't have any clout over here. Like, especially with the kids, like, you're doing nothing for them. So don't try to disguise a co-parenting conversation just to try to abuse me. Not gonna happen. And so that was the last time. And I said to him, I'm like, I'm not engaging in this type of dialogue with you anymore. Not gonna happen. There's no co-parenting I see with him. And so he tried again recently to have a co-parenting conversation. He tried to say to me, is there anything that I think that he would want to know about the kids? I don't care what you think, or like, I'm just to the point now where it's like, yeah, like, I can't help but laugh. And all I said was no. That's it. I'm not engaging with you because you are so manipulative in the conversations that you try to have with me. And so it's like, leave me alone. Just take care of your kids, And so, but he can't. He just cannot leave me alone, y'all. And so a couple days ago, he was on the phone with my daughter. And now I work from home. And so they didn't have school that day. And so I walked out. I had took like a little break from work. I, came in the living room checking on my daughter, and she's like, oh, I'm on the phone. I'm like, who you talking to? And she was like, my dad. And I was like, oh, okay. Go in my son's room, I'm checking on him. I'm like, chit-chatting with him. And I can hear my daughter. And even when I came in the living room and checked on her, he's all on the phone. He's like, hi, Summer, hi. No. Not engaging. And before I would engage, because I'm so nice, I'm so understanding, I'm just a good person. And I would be like, hi, how are you? That is just opening the floodgates for him to manipulate and to try and suck the life out of me. And that would make him think like, oh, we're friends. We are not friends. At this point, we're not even co-parents. You are their dad. I am their mother. And that's as far as it goes. And so he's like, hi, Summer. Hi. I ignored him. I don't have anything to say to you. So then I'm talking to my son. I can hear my daughter saying, she doesn't want to talk to you. Leave me alone. Stop asking me this. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, good job, girl. Good job. You holding it down. Thank you. Like, it sucks that, my children have to do that. But look at what they're dealing with. He was not, even in that moment, he was not even respecting her, how she felt, her needs, or anything. He's only thinking of himself. And so I go back to work, and now I can still hear her saying, please leave me alone. Please stop asking me this. Now, how many times should your child, or a child period, have to ask you to please stop doing something? Clearly, it's affecting them in a negative way. So why don't you just be understanding and cut it out? A narcissistic person cannot. They cannot. They have zero respect for your boundaries. And so, next thing you know, she runs in my room and she's crying. And I'm like, what's the matter? What happened? And she's like, Dad's just stressing me out. He just doesn't care about how I feel. I kept asking him so many times to please stop asking me that. Please leave me alone. She doesn't want to talk to you. Please stop. You're stressing me out. He started laughing at me and he said, quit pretending to be stressed out. And she's like, I'm not pretending. And then she's crying on the phone. He's like, oh, now you're pretending to fake cry. Stop fake crying. And she's like, I'm not fake crying. And she's like, you're stressing me out and you're making me upset and you don't even care. And he's like, oh, you're tripping and it's not my fault that your mother doesn't want to talk to me. The amount of delusion a narcissistic person has is wild. The levels of no respect that they have for other people is wild. And all I could do was hug her. And even like I spoke last week about healing while parenting and breaking generational curses, this is another added layer on top of all of that. When you're already trying to heal yourself, you have to make sure you continue to protect and heal your children from the abuse that they endure from their own parent. It is just another added layer of what the fuck. And so, again, left to pick up all the pieces and to love, to coddle, to reassure, and just to let her know, to validate her feelings, to honor her feelings, and to let her know, like, how you felt. It's 100% normal. I understand you. I totally get it. He was not listening to you. He was not respecting how you felt. You became stressed out. You became upset, and you started crying. I get it. 100%. I get it. And when your children feel that way, it makes you sad, because what do when the narcissist won't leave you alone? The only thing you can do is continue sticking with your boundaries. continue sticking to your boundaries. Don't give in. Don't give up. It gets rough. It's hard. It's annoying. It's stressful, especially when it's falling to your kids. But like my therapist lets me know and reassures me, when your kids get older, as long as you've shown them how to put boundaries in place, stick to your boundaries, continue respecting yourself, continue loving yourself, they will learn how to handle the situation. And I can see that my children are learning how to handle the situation, and it's because I'm handling the situation. It's because I am sticking to my boundaries. I am sticking to respecting myself, honoring myself, loving myself, caring for myself, and not allowing him to cross that line. Every time he tries to cross that line, it's like an electrical fence there. You're getting zapped and go back, And a narcissistic person will continue touching that fence. They will never learn the lesson. They will continue getting zapped in the hopes that one day that electrical fence will not work and they'll be able to cross over it. Not going to happen. Stick to your boundaries. Continue keeping it in place, because I promise you that narcissistic person will never leave you alone. And sometimes you just have to just be like, you know what? You have to become okay with knowing they're never going to leave you alone. Especially you got kids together, never going to leave you alone. And you know what? That's your problem. It's not mine. That is not a burden you are going to place upon me because you want your supply back. No. I am not your supply to feed your ego, to feed your self-esteem, to give you a wonderful self-image. I am not here for any of that. You do not get that from me. So you not being able to leave me alone is a personal problem. I don't have anything to do with that. So don't let that affect you. Don't let it get you down. And don't ever give in. That's what they are waiting for. They are waiting for you to give in. They are waiting for you to crumble. Waiting for that electrical fence to just not work one day. Because the day that it doesn't work, they got you. And you are like, oh my God, how did I get here? Like, you know what? I shouldn't have answered. I shouldn't have unblocked. I shouldn't have. Because no matter how strong you think you are, how strong you know you are, a narcissistic person will find a way to get their supply. So that is why you really have to go no contact. You really have to become a gray rock. They get no emotion from you. Conversation, when you are around them, if you have kids and you have to be, conversation is at a limit. A limit. Like we had, our daughter was doing a performance around Christmas time. And this was the first time I was going to be in front of him. And first of all, I didn't want to go because I didn't even want to be around him. But my therapist was like, don't go. She was like, if you feel you don't want to go, it's not going to be good for you, don't go. She was like, but I recommend and I encourage that you do go. This is a test for you to see where you are. And so I'm all about a challenge within challenging myself. I'm all about seeing how much I've grown, how much I've elevated, and stuff like that. So I was like, you know what? And my sister, she was like, I think you should go. She said the same thing my therapist said. And so I was like, I'm going to go. I go. And I didn't look at him. I just acted like he didn't even exist. I didn't say anything to him. When I say y'all, I didn't look his way. I didn't look his way. And he even tried to engage to bait me, to pull me in to being friends or cool. As I'm walking to my car with our daughter, he's of course is walking with her, whatever, that's fine. I didn't talk to him. I'm talking to her the whole time, looking at her the whole time, or looking where I'm walking towards my car. And he said to me, oh, we're wearing the same jeans, we're matching. He didn't know what to say, y'all. He absolutely had no. He was just so flabbergasted. Like, that's the best you could come up with. I didn't even laugh. I was rolling on the inside. Like, did this fool just say we are matching jeans? That's the best you could come up with? Like, you just want to be my friend so badly, huh? So you could suck me dry. No. I didn't say anything. I didn't crack a smile. But the guy that's within me was like, you see, you got him. You are handling him. And so I was so proud of myself. I was just like, yes. I went to therapy that next week and I was just like telling her, and she was like, look at you, you handled that. Like, you really handled that. And I was like, I did. Like, yes, I really did. When I say I was so proud of myself, I was like, oh, I got this. Like, because she would tell me for so long, like, you have to handle a narcissist. You have to handle them. When you go into your garden, and you know there are snakes there, you go prepared. You put your gloves on, this, that, and the other, so you handle them. I never knew what she meant until I handled his ass that day. And I've been handling him ever since. So they're never going to stop. They are never going to leave you alone. You are their supply. And once they've lost that supply, they want it back. They will not respect your boundaries. They never respected you from jump. So why would they respect you now? It is all an illusion. It's all a facade. The apologies are all lies. All of it. The I'm changing, I'm working on myself. It is all a lie to get you back so they can suck the life out of you. Don't give in. Don't ever think that a true narcissistic person will change. They will never change. The only thing that will change about a narcissistic person is the tactics that they use to bait you. That is it. They will never change. They won't. And, they are broken inside. They are completely broken inside. They do not love themselves in any way, shape, or form. And you make them feel good. The way you make them look, all of the good qualities within you make them feel great. So, they will never leave you alone. And especially if you have kids, they will never leave you alone. So understand and know that they will never leave you alone. Don't ever let your guard down. It's going to be hard. It's going to be tough. Keep that boundary put in place. Continue to stick to it. You are doing great. You are doing an amazing job. Continue loving yourself. Continue exercising self-care, self-love, gratitude, appreciation. Because dealing with a narcissistic person, it is tough. I get it 100%. So don't ever let up. Don't ever think like, oh, they seem nice, they seem this. It is a facade. It is to get you back. So don't give in. Continue on. And I promise you, even in that moment where they showing you that, oh, I've changed, I'm this, give me another chance. As soon as you deny them of that access to you, they're going to be nasty. They're going to be disrespectful. They will show you. Watch. Just test it out. Test it out. If you don't believe what I'm saying, give it a shot. I promise you, as soon as you say no, you're gonna be all kind of bitches, you ain't shit, I was just fucking with your ass, and like they are going to begin to be disrespectful because again, you are blowing their self-esteem to the garbage. So give it a try, test it out. But don't forget, honor yourself, love yourself, be kind to yourself, tell yourself good, positive, loving things because you are all of those wonderful things. You are beautiful, you're amazing, you are strong. Be patient, be kind to yourself. I love you guys. Don't forget, come back Sundays, 7 p.m. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And leave a comment. This is a safe place. With me, you're safe. This is a community of healing, sharing, learning. I love you guys. Have a good night.